You have to understand this because I want to be honest on that. I didn't have the actually money. Asking for US dollars. In my bones. And if you fail to do so, what are the repercussions? Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Simply Rhoda and this is my YouTube channel. If it's your first time on this channel, honey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 40k and your subscription will surely make a difference. Thank you so much for coming back again. If you're returning subby, don't forget to like the video as well as sharing the videos to your loved ones. Again, I'm certainly going to call these videos the car episodes, guys, because I feel like I always come to this port, and whenever I'm at this port, I feel like I should answer most of the questions that I get from you guys and that I never got the chance to sit down and address. So today I'm specifically making this video to answer two important questions that I raised. It seems like it's not a real question or it's a mockery, but I realize that yes, actually most people may not have any idea on how to go about these things. Anyway, the first question that I'm going to be answering is that question. Please do a video on how to raise money for building, because 33,000 and 26,000 is US dollars is a lot. I'm liking your videos. Anyway, yes, I know when I was giving the figures that I've used to purchase my house as well as the money I've saved to build my house to the point where it is, a lot of people came to in the comment section, a lot of people came. There are those that can understand that yes, that is the right amount, or you can look at a figure more or less like the same, right? And there are those that came and also criticized me for that fact, that how can you spend 26k on a stand on buying just land, empty land without any development on it, and now spending like a total of 33k to build a house up to roof level without any fixtures or anything. It's not yet livable, still looking for more to spend on that house. So yes, today I am going to be addressing these two questions in particular, because I know there are a lot of people who might not have any idea or actually understand how building works. Okay, I want to answer the first question that I've mentioned, the latter, that is, how can I save money for building? Anyway, guys, when people start building, surely know that it's not a one-day thing. You don't just wake up and, say, I'm going to start a project. It takes time. It takes a lot of planning as well as a lot of budgeting. Like the way I did it, and also my advice on this one. I think if you want to start a building project in Zimbabwe, we know things are hard in Zimbabwe, things are expensive in Zimbabwe. So surely if you want to start building or plan to build your house in the future, I would suggest that if you have something going on or something that generates income for you, from that thing, start to have a mindset to have something of your own. Like you start to, think towards accomplishing something. You have to divert your way of spending and your way of thinking to reroute everything towards the goal that you want to achieve. Suppose you don't even have a stand. Like guys, I don't want you to just look at the price that I spend on mine and think that every place or all areas in Zimbabwe are costing that. I know there are some places that are costing less than that. Sometimes saying Harare, just the name Harare, because it's the capital city, you find that some stands can be expensive in Harare. But it's not the only place where you can build a house. You can go to small towns or even growth points. I know you can find stands that can go as much or as little as 2,000 or even less. Maybe Zepama growth point is there. I think they will not cost you that much. Even Kunana Goromons and stuff, I heard the stands are lower there. So do not look at the location where I bought, and that will give you a conclusion. Stands SM Zimbabwe are costing around that much. It depends with your choices. I know there are so many places that are being developed. I think you can do your homework, check unless if you want to go to the same place that I bought my stand. Mind you, I stated that I bought it for like 26,000, right? But at current rate, if you find somebody who is selling his or her stand right now in Mabazuba, surely know that you will not buy it at that price. Probably it could be maybe 30 or 40 something. That is what you should be budgeting at if you want the exact place. But if you don't mind about that, you can try to look elsewhere where it suits your pockets. Again, I'll reiterate on that. Look elsewhere where that suits or where you're comfortable, where you not strain yourself. Kungoti, because yakatenga at 26, I also want to go for that. No, we don't do like that, So like, if you look at that, that's how I spend on my stand. And I didn't buy this stand on a third party. I bought it from the developer directly. So I know there are phases. Mavazua actually have phase 1, phase 2, 3, 4, and also the sizes of the stands are different within these phases. Where I am, there are a lot of bigger stands. Like mine is a 600 square meters, right? So quite of all, I have 500 square meters. Angatoro my price at passy. And I remember me when I first bought my stand in Mavazua. First, I bought a stand that was in Mavazua phase 2. And I remember the stand was like 460 something square meters. Later on, when I was just perusing their stands on sale and something like that were still available, I also noticed that Mavazua phase 1 had that particular stand for a 600 square meters. And I was like, I want that. And I top up and went on to buy that stand in particular. So yeah, it's not like every stand in Mabazuva costs like 26. It depends with the size of the stand. Also depends with the phase where you bought it, right? So in that case, guys, kana uchichaga and how do you want to buy? How do you save? Okay, there are various ways where you can save. It depends on your plan. Some people can actually take 2 years to plan on buying something, depending on what you want. And I know not all developers will ask for a cash upfront, like you have to pay up everything in one go for the stand, right? I know there are plans. You can have plans. You can pay maybe half down, and you can have terms to pay for the remaining figure, right? So there are different ways whereby you can buy your stand. You can either borrow your family or find help. I don't know in Zimbabwe whether banks can actually lend people to buy stands and something in that amount. I'm not sure about that. I will not say that. But if you want to save on your own, if you have a stable job, well, you can now make a budget. You know what you want to save and what's your target and what kind of stand you'd like and how it costs. You can always do your homework and your research, guys, so you know the exact place where you want. Because me, I believe that if you put something in your heart, this is the thing that I want, and you can work towards it. There is a saying that say you can't have it until you see it. It could be pictures, you see it, you envision yourself, you start daydreaming, I don't know, whatever, you have dreams about yourself in that place. I think that will bring you or have you have that kuti moyo wako unobva toona kuti this is what I want, this is what I want to get, this is, and you can work and have a plan on how to get that thing. I always believe that if you really want something, you can always find a plan. I can't really say there is an actual way of saving money. People's expenses are different, so you find that in my expenses angu neako akasiana, so the way I will save is totally different from you. Or it can also come down to your job, your salary, how much do you earn, and that will also determine how much you are going to put aside towards the purchase of your stand or building your house. So it depends on how you handle your finances. So I can't really tell you how to do it, but I can just give you an idea kuti kana uchida something, how you can actually put your mind into it and be, ina angu pachangu ndiri munhu uya anoti if I want something anditika, I'll make a plan, I'll write it down, and I'll also give myself time kuti within this period I must be able to do ABCD towards this thing. So once that thing is now in my mind, like I write it down, it's like I'm making a covenant with myself that I have to see this thing through, and I have to work through, I have to work hard, I have to plan towards this thing. So all I can say, guys, you have to really look in your finances. Also look at where your pocket suits. Also find do they have terms in terms of payments and stuff like that, and how much time, my interest rates. These are also things that you need to consider before you just jump and grab something. Yes, you may find that my interest rates are going to increase. Inflation in Zimbabwe is always changing and currencies are always changing. So you can find a better way. But now, to my understanding, I think most developers now, they sell these properties or these stands in US dollars. I don't know if they can accept local currency. I'm still yet to find out. But in Pandaka Tenka Angu, I remember Exodus was actually, yeah, my stand is under, our developer is under Exodus. So is Exodus. So Pandaga Tenga Yanguinina, I remember they were actually asking for US dollars, Kwakwinema bonds, but they were not taking bonds. They were selling their stands in US dollars. Yes, so we had to pay in US dollars. And I also remember there were terms whereby somebody would pay a certain amount and within a certain period of time without interest. Those with a check before you actually commit yourself to my payment plans and something. No, also my interest rates say if they don't have how much time do you have to pay up, and if you fail to do so, what are the repercussions? You also have to know this one in detail. Will you get your money back in case that you can't pay? Will you get your money back? If you do get back, do they cut something? Do they, you have to understand this, because unonyura. So that's one thing. Now let's go to the second question that I got about how to inquire, how to buy a property. I think these questions are just in line together. How can you buy a stand in Zimbabwe? This one, I mainly want to direct it to Zimbabweans, or I don't know, anybody who is willing to, or who is hoping to invest in Zimbabwe in terms of properties or buying stands and developing them. Okay, so this is quite a tricky question. I have read a lot of stories whereby people thought they were buying stands or they were building in Zimbabwe while they were in diaspora, yet there was nothing happening. They lost money. In Inangu, to me, it's a story of another day. On something like this happened to me. That was the first time I wanted to buy a stand and build a house in Zimbabwe. I was also a victim of buying something that was not there. So guys, I think to just not stray off on this video, kuti bude pa video yanase. This issue I'm not going to be talking about myself, but I will make a video someday and also warn people who want to buy things, especially when they are in diaspora and you are not there. Okay, now let's get into it. There's processes of buying a stand in Zimbabwe during your or in your absence. Let's say usipo zviya haukwanise kunge uchienda kumusha kuti unozvimirira wega uchitenga wega. To be honest, there are bogus companies, there are developers who are bogus, who can also tell you that they are selling this, but yet there is nothing like that. So unofanwa kuva very, very careful when you are buying, because now, because of social media, I know you see a lot of advertisements on social media or Instagram saying there are stands or whatever, find us on this, reach us on this, and you may trust them and purchase through that way in your absence. There's nothing like that, guys. Do not attempt to buy a property or a stand during your absence uchitengera online because ndavaona online. Do not trust that, because vanhu vazhinji vari kunyura nazvo izvozvo. Well, when I say vanhu vari kunyura nazvo, I mean most people's money, they are being swindled through those channels, ipo social media kuti unenge uchiona. So my advice is, the stage is like, I'm just saying the way I did mine. The time I realized, in both cases, anyway, my first house, I actually bought a stand from a friend. So there was somebody I know who wanted money and also approached me with their deeds and the papers of the stand, and I also confirmed that it was authentic before I paid and I bought it. And the second one, I bought it through the developer. So that way I also followed the right channels. I went to the offices of the developer where they were marketing their stands and stuff. I went there and I verified that that was a truth. In fact, the first time I saw these stands for sale, I didn't have the money. I want to be honest on that. I didn't have the money, but I liked the place. You understand? So I went there when I was in Zimbabwe. I took the opportunity to go to their offices to verify the authenticity of their company and the truthful of the stands and stuff. So I went there to verify these things before I actually bought the stand. So I came back to China and work and save my money, and then the buying process actually happened whilst I was here in China. Now I was just sending my sister, who actually handle a lot of my businesses in Zimbabwe. Whenever I want to do something concerning money, or I want to buy or purchase something, my sister is the one who always does that for me. But first I had to verify it myself in person, and yeah, I realized it was right. So I remember going to Exodus the first time. These tents were there, and like I say, Exodus was selling phase 1, 2, 3, and 4. But at that time they had sold out, almost sold out phase 1, which is their first, the first part they developed, and they were selling others, but the other 3 stages were not yet fully serviced, which means people couldn't start constructing houses there because they were still in the process of developing the area, like putting roads, the sewer and stuff like that. But phase 1 had already been established in the sense that you could purchase today and start constructing tomorrow. So in that case, I did inquire this. That's why I later on, after I bought, I was just hoping that by the time I'll buy in phase 2, it will be the roads will be developed and the sewer system and stuff, etc., etc. But then after I purchased that, when I came back to China, I purchased that. But then I was going through their list and I realized that they still had some, stands left, a few stands left in phase 1. So I decided to change to phase 1, which I only topped a little bit, I think a few thousands to top up to a bigger stand, and also in a fully serviced area. That was phase 1. So this was the stage. So I can say the stage that is proper is for you to go to the developer, verify their authentic, whether they are authentic, and know this, know how the ways you can pay and understand the terms and stuff like that, unless for you to avoid the issues that may come up of losing money and stuff like that. So guys, I can say I hope you have been answered, and if you still have more questions about this, please, you can ask me. And I'm not saying I know it, or I know everybody has their own experience in terms of buying stands or buying properties back home, but this is just my knowledge and how I did it. So I'm not saying I'm a well knowledgeable person in terms of properties, buying and real estate. I don't know, I'm still learning, guys, but I'm just sharing how I did mine, and I hope it will save somebody and also save your time. Okay guys, I think if you've watched to this point, thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you still waiting for? Thank you for subscribing and liking the video. That is the very important part. Like the video, guys. Just click the like button, and also join if you want to support my channel and my journey on YouTube. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. It's goodbye for now. Bye.